Welcome to the Red Path. This weekend we're beginning a new series named Getting Started, and it'll be no surprise to anyone that it's a series focused on players either new to the hobby or new to the World Eaters. For the next few weekends we'll be releasing 3 videos on each of the units found in the Combat Patrol box, starting this week with Berzerkers. There will be a lore video such as this one, a hobby video showcasing some great fundamentals for painting your first Berzerker, and a tactical overview analysing the best ways to use them on the tabletop. So, let's get on with it. Khorne Berzerkers are one of the most feared combatants of the 41st millennium. Dedicated only to slaughter and bloodshed, these warriors embody the age in which they thrive, for when there is only war, all are warriors. Berzerkers originated in the 12th Legion during the Horus Heresy, an evolution of the already fearsome Astartes who had gained notoriety for savage, bloody warfare. But it was not until their Primarch Angron had been found and accepted, albeit unwillingly, his place as their leader. After Khorne had bargained with the Primarch to rebuild the Legion in his image as Eaters of Worlds, the process began at Angron's behest to install the Cruciamen, or Butcher's Nails, in all the Legionnaires. This process combined the skills of both the Tech Marines and Legion Apothecaries and had a 100% failure rate, until Khorne volunteered following the Genna massacre. From that point on, the nails were implanted into every viable World Eater. Only those interred in dreadnought sarcophagi or who possessed psychic powers were to escape the surgery. Through the heresy and beyond, the cost of the nails would serve as both a blessing and a curse to those who bore them. Their rage and ferocity in battle was unmatched amongst fellow Astartes, but their ability to maintain cogent thought and utilise higher brain functions began to dwindle. Many individuals would wholly succumb to the nails, causing fratricide to become a common theme within the Legion. Martial prowess had always been paramount to the World Eaters, but the introduction of the nails pushed them further than any other Legion, constantly on the hunt for battle, until such a time that it ceased to matter whether the enemy was friend or foe. Alongside their reputation as crazed warriors, their position amongst the other traitor legions caused the World Eaters to be seen as untrustworthy allies, and to be used as weapons more so than as brothers in arms. Nevertheless, throughout the long millennia, many traitors have aspired to please Khorne, and have done so by taking the nails in surgery, properly inducting them as Khorne Berzerkers. Not all Berzerkers are World Eaters, but all World Eaters are Berzerkers. In fact, many Khornate warbands feature Astartes from many legions, and even renegades from the Loyalist chapters. Alpha Legion, Iron Warriors, even Blood Angels have followed Khorne in his Butcher Horde, for example. But to be a Berzerker is to face a life of pain and anger. The nails will constantly tick in your head. Khorne will constantly demand more skulls for his throne. Those around you will constantly appear more as targets than allies. The need to kill will only ever increase, briefly abated should the nails allow once blood has been spilled. To maintain any form of discipline, Berzerkers engage in constant duels whilst not in the thick of battle, serving to placate their needs, hone their skills, but also to keep their numbers lower than many other legions. Life serving Khorne is often short and bloody. Often seen on the battlefield with chain axe and chain sword, Berzerkers are nevertheless still trained Astartes, and will often wield bolt or plasma pistols, or make use of heavier melee weapons such as the Eviscerator. Their armour will often be adorned with totems or skulls worshipping the blood god, and, unsurprisingly, they will often forego protective armour on their arms to better aid their preternatural speed with melee weapons, or perhaps they simply kill their servants trained to repair it. One common aspect that tends to signify a Berzerker is the presence of the Cadere Remissum, the horns or ears atop their helmets. These are derived from marks that gladiators on Angron's homeworld of Nusaria would wear to show that they were lost to the nails, and the tradition has carried on through the generations. Similarly, Berzerkers will often chain their weapons to their arms, a habit born of their fighting pit traditions, and borrowed by the Black Templars via Sigismund and Khorne's early friendship. Whilst fueled by anger and perpetually blood-crazed, Berzerkers do have moments of clarity, but it will vary by individual. Khorne, for instance, whilst the oldest Astartes bearing the nails, is still able to temporarily control his anger, occasionally issuing even competent tactical orders, or focusing himself and others on preferred targets. His willpower and use of meditation perhaps allows him the self-awareness to constantly battle the Nails and maintain his position as the chosen of Khorne. Whilst other warriors have found ways to abide the Nails, it is not a common ability, and for the most part, only the spilling of blood will momentarily appease the desire for murder, allowing the Berzerker any peace at all. Compared to other Astartes, the Berzerker is certainly one of the most feared combatants. Many other Marines favour close combat, the Blood Angels and Space Wolves for example, and they too possess elite warriors conditioned to excel where the metal meets the meat. But those of the Death Company, or those cursed as Wolfen, are few and far between in their respective forces. As mentioned previously, all World Eaters are Berzerkers, and should any battlefield be best suited to close-quarter warfare, the 12th Legion will be best equipped to assault en masse. Through the blessings of Khorne and the technomancy of the Nails, Berzerkers are stronger and faster than their cousins, able to strike harder and absorb more pain than any other line Astartes, utterly immune to fear beyond that of a typical Marine, as they simply do not have the ability to understand it. Berzerkers will happily charge any force or position, regardless of the odds. Similarly, wounds that would incapacitate or shatter other Astartes serve as little more than glancing blows to a blood-crazed Berzerker as they charge headlong into the fray. So here, in the 41st millennium, in a time where there is only war, the Khorne Berzerker is perfectly equipped as a warrior to kill, maim and burn their way through the myriad enemies the galaxy has to throw at them. Khorne cares not whence the blood flows, so long as it flows, and his Berzerkers shall spill him an ocean's worth in service.